Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the disease related to the lungs and its pleura. Now first of all, let's talk about the applied aspects of the pleura. Now first of all, what is pleura? Pleura is actually the covering of any of the visceral organ of the body. Over here in the lungs we have mainly two pleuras, parietal pleura and the visceral pleura. Parietal is the outer layer, visceral is the inner layer, and between these two layers we have one cavity known as the pleural cavity. Now paracentesis thoracic. This is actually a process in which there is aspiration of any fluid from the pleural cavity. This process is mainly done in the 8th intercostal space in the mid-axillary line. Now over here the needle is mainly passed through the lower portion of the space. Why? Because in the upper part there may be neurovascular bundle. Nerve, artery or vein will present in the upper part of the space. So it is made in the lower part. Now the pleurisy. Pleurisy is nothing but the inflammation of the pleura of the lungs. It may be of two types, dry or wet. The dry is more painful to the patients as because there is no fluid involved in the dry one. So of course there will be friction occurring between the two pleuras of the lungs which will cause pain to the patient. While in the wet one, there is dry pleurisy also, but it is accompanied by the collection of fluid in the pleural cavity, and this condition is also known as the pleural effusion. Now the pneumothorax. As the name says, pneumo means air, means there is a presence of air in the pleural cavity. Hemothorax. As the name says, hem means blood, collection of blood or the presence of blood in the pleural cavity. Now the hydropneumothorax means, as the name says, hydro means water or the fluid and the pneumo means air. So means presence of both fluid and air in the pleural cavity. Now the emphysema. The emphysema is a lung condition that causes the shortness of the breathing. Now in the people with the emphysema, the air sac in the lung, that is the alveoli over here, as you can see, it is damaged. By the normal one, it is not. Over time, the inner wall of the air sac weakens and rupture, creating a larger air space instead of smaller. In the normal alveoli, as you can see, we have smaller spaces. But in the emphysema, the alveoli, the small space in the alveoli get ruptured, the inner layers get ruptured, it will form a large spaces in the alveoli, and also the pus gets collected in the alveoli. So this is the emphysema. Okay, now the nerve supply and the referred pain. I told you before that the lungs has mainly two pleuras, parietal and the visceral. And the parietal pleura has mainly two parts, costal part, this one, and the diaphragmatic part, this one. Now the costal and the peripheral part of the diaphragmatic pleura are innervated by intercostal nerves. So you may know that the intercostal nerve also supplies the thoracic and the abdominal wall. So if the costal and the peripheral part of the diaphragmatic pleura are irritated, so this will cause referred pain along the intercostal nerve to the thoracic or the abdominal wall. While over here the mediastinal and the central part of the diaphragmatic pleura are innervated by the phrenic nerve, that is the cervical number 4 nerve. So hence you know that the phrenic nerve also supplies the tip of the shoulders. So irritation to the mediastinal and the central part of the diaphragmatic pleura will cause referred pain on the tip of the shoulders. So means intercostal nerve referred pain is the, over here is the thoracic and the abdominal wall, while the referred pain for the phrenic nerve over here is the tip of the shoulder. Now the pleural effusion. I told you before in the pleurisy that pleural effusion mainly occurs because of the inflammation of the pleura, and that too because of the entering of the fluid into the pleural cavity. Over here, as you can see, the fluid enters into the costodiaphragmatic recess of the pleura, as you can see over here. Recess is nothing but the space. So over here the fluid collects, and this will cause obliteration of the costodiaphragmatic recess. Now next is the applied aspects of the lungs. First is the bronchopulmonary infection. Usually the infection in the lungs are restricted to a particular bronchopulmonary segment only. Why? Because I told you before in the bronchopulmonary segment lecture that each segment are divided from each other by a particular connective tissue between them. So the infection cannot pass from or cannot spread from one segment to the another one. But in tuberculosis and in the cancer, this thing doesn't occur. It can spread from one segment to the another one. This is a picture of the tuberculosis of the lungs. It is a potentially serious infectious bacterial disease that mainly affects the lungs, because the tuberculosis are spread when an infected person coughs or sneezes, and so the infection occurs and it can spread from one segment to the another one. Now the lung cancer can also spread from one segment to the another one, and it mainly occurs in the people who smoke. Segmental resection. Now as a surgeon, you should have the information about the bronchopulmonary segment to do the process of the segmental resection. In this process, the particular segment of the lung is dissected or is removed, as because you know that each segment of the lung supplied by the particular artery and a particular segmental bronchus. So it can be removed, but you should have the knowledge about the bronchopulmonary segments. And this process is also known as the segmentectomy or the segmental resection. Now the bronchoscopy. Now it is a procedure to visualize the interior of the bronchi through the bronchoscope passed to the mouth and the trachea. As you can see in this diagram, the bronchoscope is passed to the mouth and to the trachea to reach to the interior of the lungs to visualize the interior of the bronchi. What is carina? Carina is a hook-shaped process projecting backward from the lower margin of the lowest tracheal ring. Now this is mainly the region where this trachea actually divides into two primary bronchus, right bronchus and the left bronchus. The right bronchus makes an angle of 25 degrees while the left bronchus makes an angle of 45 degrees. Now as because the right bronchus is comparatively larger and also it is more vertical than the left bronchus, so foreign bodies mostly descend into the right bronchus more as compared to the left one. Now the postural drainage. Now in the previous slide I told you that the right bronchus is most prone to get infected because of its size and the vertical structure. So of course there will be various secretions in that particular right bronchus. So just in order to remove that particular secretion, the postural drainage process is done. In this process, the patient is made to lie on his or her left side. So secretions from the right bronchial tree flows towards the carina due to the effect of the gravity. So stimulates the cough reflex and the sputum is brought out. This process is known as the postural drainage. Paradoxical respiration. During inspiration, normally the segments of the ribs are pushed outside the chest wall, and during the expiration, the ribs are pulled inside the chest wall. The broken ribs and the flail segment of the ribs, in the inspiration, the segment of the ribs are pulled inside the chest wall, as you can see, and during the expiration, the ribs are pushed outside the chest wall. Now the bronchial asthma. This is actually a common disease of respiratory system. Now as you can see the diagram, this is the bronchiole of a normal person, while this is the bronchiole of a patient of asthma. Now it mainly occurs due to the bronchospasm of the smooth muscle of the wall of the bronchiole, as you can see in the diagram. Patient has difficulty especially during the expiration, while the main drug to relieve the symptoms of the asthma is the epinephrine, as because it is a sympathomimetic drug. Now the auscultation of the lung. The upper lobe is mainly auscultated above the fourth rib on both the sides. The lower lobes are best heard on the back, and the middle lobe is best auscultated between the fourth and the sixth rib on the right side. In the supine position, the superior segment of the right lower lung is the most dependent segment of the lungs. So this was all about the disease of the lungs and its pleura. Hope you understood it well. Thank you so much.